Hey you're still awake. Trying to fall asleep, right? Walked straight into that blue light ambush, same as the rest of us. Welcome to medieval melatonin. And if you don't get that Skyrim reference, don't worry. This is a place where everyone's welcome, especially those searching for the coziest corners of the past. This is the first video on the channel, so if I help you unwind, or better yet, fall asleep, feel free to subscribe or drop a like when you wake up fresher. And before you drift off, tell me in the comments, where are you tuning in from? What time is it for you? I always find it calming, even magical, to imagine drifting off in faraway places. Midnight in Warsaw, 2 a.m. in São Paulo, a dorm in Seoul, a cabin in the Rockies. But tonight, we're going somewhere even further, to a world that's slower, simpler, and a little smokier around the edges. So dim the lights. Let your eyelids droop. Maybe turn on a fan for that soft, steady hum. Let the edges of the day fade out. Because tonight, you're not just falling asleep. You're spending a quiet day in medieval Europe. You've probably heard you wouldn't last 5 minutes there. That the food would sicken you, the people would fear you. That filth, superstition, and violence ruled everything. But that's not the world we're going to tonight. There will be no wars, no dungeons, no jewels, dragons, or quests. Just a small village, a scratchy tunic, and a bright and quiet morning ahead of you. So without further ado, let us begin. You're lying under coarse wool, on a bed of straw, and for a moment, you're not sure where you are. The straw shifts beneath you as you stir. The light filtering in is grey, soft. You hear footsteps above, a low creak, then stillness again. You sit up slowly. Your neck aches a little. Your blanket slides off, rough and itchy. The room is dim, simple, wooden. No glass on the windows, just shutters cracked enough to let in cold air and birdsong. Somewhere outside, a rooster calls, then a second one. Then, after a beat, hoofsteps. A cart rolling over uneven ground. A door thuds shut. This isn't a castle. It's not even a manor house. Just a cottage. A bed stuffed with straw. A stool. A bucket in the corner. A low ceiling of thick beams. Your breath clouds faintly in the chill. There's no fire burning yet. You rise. Your tunic itches, woven from coarse wool, like everything else. You notice how heavy it feels against your skin. A little damp, maybe, but it's warmer than nothing. Your feet touch the floor, packed earth, scattered straw, hard and cold. Someone moves past the door. A woman, maybe, or a child. They glance in. No one is surprised to see you. You're not a stranger here, not today. No one screams witch or brandishes a pitchfork. You're just another sleeper shaking off the cold. You step outside. The sky is pale and colourless, caught between night and day. The village is already stirring. A man ties up his donkey. A girl runs barefoot across a muddy yard, laughing. A dog barks once, then lies back down near a baking oven that smells faintly of bread. Not sourdough, not brioche, just something simple and warm and rising. A bell rings in the distance, a slow, heavy chime. Not a summons, just a marker. Another hour, come and gone. This is how a medieval morning begins, not with fear, not with fire. Just cold feet, wood smoke, and the quiet shuffle of people starting another day. You're hungry, but not starving. You're cold, but not freezing. You're surviving. And the sun hasn't even broken the horizon. Inside again, someone hands you a bowl. It's wood, smooth with use. Inside, porridge, thick, grey and steaming. It's not seasoned, it's not sweet, but it's warm. And it fills your stomach in a slow, steady way that modern food rarely does. You eat with a spoon, also wooden. Around you, no one's talking much yet. People nod, chew. One boy stares at the flame in the hearth, blinking slowly. A woman dips her fingers into a small clay pot, salt, maybe, and passes it your way without a word. There's no coffee. No eggs. No orange juice. Just the porridge. Maybe a scrap of bread from last night, and weak ale, barely fermented. Safer than water, they say. It tastes like liquid bread. You drink anyway. Your hands start to warm. Your shoulders drop a little. Outside, The village has woken fully now. There are no cars, no phones, but there is movement. Chores begin. Someone is chopping wood, not aggressively, just rhythmically. A boy gathers eggs from a wooden coop. A girl washes potatoes in a tin basin near a well. And across the road, a man brushes a horse's flanks with a handful of straw, murmuring something low and slow that you can't quite hear. You're not expected to do much, but you do help. Someone shows you how to carry water, one bucket, then another. The handle bites into your fingers. The splash soaks your tunic. But there's no rush, no clock ticking down. Just the next thing, and then the next. The air smells like damp wood, moss, distant manure. You've been awake for maybe 90 minutes, but you've spoken barely a word, and somehow that feels fine. Because here, the world doesn't demand constant speech or speed. Here, survival means staying warm, staying fed, moving with the sun. And the sun, now, is just beginning to clear the rooftops. You catch its light on the dewy grass. And for the first time today, you feel it. Warmth. By mid-morning, the sky's brighter but still pale, more bone than blue. You're outside now, helping where you can. Nothing backbreaking. Just what needs doing. You carry firewood from one house to another, hang a bundle of herbs to dry. Someone nods. That's enough. A dog follows you for a while, then forgets why and wanders off. The village smells like smoke, damp wood, and livestock. Sharp, earthy, real. Somewhere nearby, bread is baking again, this time fuller, richer, maybe rye. It's not for you, not yet, but the smell means someone has flour, fire, and time. You notice things. The way people move in thick wool. The way doors never quite shut. The way chickens watch you like they've seen things you wouldn't understand. There are no books, no music, no mirrors, but that doesn't mean there's no beauty. One wall is whitewashed, bright against the wood. A cross is carved into a doorway. By the well, a girl braids someone's hair with fast, practiced fingers. And then, bells again. Not urgent, not loud, just soft chimes across the rooftops. Midday. A pause. You gather with others near a barn wall. A cloth is unwrapped. Bread, a wedge of cheese, a few onions. No feast, but enough. You chew slowly. The bread is coarse, but not dry. The cheese smells stronger than it tastes. The onion is sharp. Nobody rushes. Someone watches a bird hop along the roof. Someone hums softly, tunelessly, while tearing cheese to share. And no one's talking about work, or news, or what comes next. Just bread. You lean back against the wall. Close your eyes. You're not tired exactly. Just still. The stillness doesn't last forever. You hear it before you feel it. The creak of a wheel, the bray of a mule, the thud of wood hitting earth. Afternoon has begun. Some of the villagers head to the fields. You join them. Not because you must, but because it seems right. That's how things are here. Rhythms more than rules. You help pull weeds, stack dried stalks, gather bundles of kindling. The work is steady, repetitive. Your muscles ache a little, but it's not pain. Just proof. You pause often. Everyone does. To stretch, to breathe, to sip watered ale from a skin passed around. There's no supervisor, no clock, just the sun inching forward overhead. At one point, a boy starts singing. Others join. The melody has no sharp edges. It just flows. A breeze moves through the field, cool and sudden. It carries the scent of grass, sweat, and something nearby baking in clay. Maybe a pie, maybe not. You'll never find out. But the mystery is oddly satisfying. Insects buzz. A dog barks in the distance. The church bell tolls again. 2 short chimes. Maybe it's 2 p.m. Maybe it's not. Time here isn't measured. It's felt. And you're beginning to feel it too. You don't know the names of the people beside you, but you know how they work, how they rest, how they smile quietly when someone stumbles and laughs at themselves. At some point, a storm looks like it might come. Dark clouds gather low on the horizon, but they never arrive. Just drift past, and when they're gone, the sun feels stronger, a little too warm now, a little too close. So you retreat back to the shade. A stool? A bit of bread saved from earlier. You drink, you breathe, you sit, and the world continues without asking anything of you. No one is watching. No one is waiting. And for a while, you don't move at all. You're not idle. You're simply here. The shadows begin to stretch. Late afternoon settles in, not loudly, but with a kind of hush. The village feels quieter now. Less movement, longer pauses. You hear a door creak open, then another. Children call to each other, their voices softer than before. A man sharpens a blade, slowly, rhythmically, more out of habit than urgency. You're sitting again, this time on a low bench, near the edge of the road. The sun is lower now, spilling amber light across the packed dirt. It catches dust in the air, hanging like gold. A woman walks by with a bundle of kindling. A boy trails behind, carrying a clay jar, careful not to spill. Neither says a word. The air smells different now. The sharp edge of the morning has faded, replaced by warmth, oil, meat, the sound of chopping, the clink of a spoon on a pot. Someone is cooking. You're invited in, not formally, just with a gesture, a nod. You sit at a long table. A few others join. No one introduces themselves. They don't need to. The meal is simple. Stew, thick with beans and onions, bits of root vegetables, maybe a shred of salted meat. There's bread again, and something like broth, sipped from a shared cup. It's good. Not amazing. Not bad. Just good. A girl at the far end of the table says something that makes two people laugh. You miss the joke, but not the warmth. And then it's quiet again. The kind of quiet that wraps around you, soft and tired. Outside, the sky has turned from gold to ash blue. The last bit of sun flickers on the rooftops. Then it's gone. Someone lights a lamp. Another stirs the coals. The day exhales. You step outside once more. The air is cooler now. The first stars are starting to show. And from the church tower, the bell tolls. One long, slow note that drifts across the rooftops like smoke. Evening has arrived. And you're still here. Night falls completely. There are no streetlights, no screens, no distant hum of traffic. A few windows glow. Most stay dark. You sit outside a while longer. On a stump, on a stone. It doesn't matter. The air is still. You hear a dog bark once, far off. Then silence again. Someone nearby is humming, barely audible. Maybe it's a lullaby. Maybe it's just a habit, a rhythm that carries them into sleep. The stars overhead feel impossibly bright, like they've drawn closer. No filter, no haze, just endless sky and quiet. You see the moon, round, low and yellow. Not perfect, not polished, but real, tangible. And suddenly you realize how little you miss. Not the apps, not the noise, not the constant pressure to say something, do something, be something. Here, enough is enough. Here, the goal is just to last the day. And you did. Someone offers you a blanket. You follow them into the cottage again. No questions, no ceremony. Inside, the fire's down to embers. A bit of orange light dances across the beams above. You lie back on the straw-stuffed mattress. Pull the wool up to your chin. It still itches. But it's warmer than before. A faint breeze moves through the cracks in the shutters. You hear a cough. A whisper. Footsteps above you. But mostly, you hear nothing. You stare up at the ceiling. Then close your eyes. The day is over. And in a way that feels ancient and good, so are you. The fire is nearly out now. Only the coals remain, pulsing red in the dark like slow heartbeats. You shift slightly under the wool. The straw rustles beneath you, soft and dry. Outside, the wind has picked up just enough to hum through the cracks in the shutters. It's not cold, just present. Like the breath of something old, the village is asleep. No footsteps, no bells, no voices. Even the animals have gone still. And as you lie there, staring at the dark above you, something strange happens. You start to feel familiar. Like you've done this before. Not this exact day, maybe, but this rhythm, this slowness, this peace. There's no moment of revelation, no great transformation, just a quiet thought drifting past. You weren't chased, or tortured, or starved. You helped, you watched, you ate, you rested, you were left alone. And somehow, that was everything. You let your thoughts dissolve now, not with force, just gravity. You sleep long and without interruption. No buzzing alarm, no flashing screen. Just the steady rhythm of your breath and the warmth of the wool still gathered around your shoulders. Eventually, light presses against your closed eyelids. Not a beam, not a jolt, just a soft ambient brightness. You don't open your eyes right away. There's no rush. Even your thoughts seem slower now, like they've been shaped by the village itself. When you finally rise, it's because your body decides to, not because the world demands it. Your back aches a little, your throat is dry, but your mind is still quiet. The shutters are cracked again. Thin light spills in, not yellow, not gold, just pale, real. You sit up. The room is empty, the fire long out, but the air smells faintly of ash, wool, and, oddly, rosemary. Maybe someone laid a sprig near the hearth. Maybe it found its way there on its own. You stretch, stand. Your feet press into the packed dirt floor once more. And when you step outside, the world greets you the same way it did yesterday, gently. Not with fanfare, not with applause, but with fog clinging to the rooftops, and crows pecking along the road, and someone humming low behind a doorway. You've made it through the night, but you're still here, still part of this place. And the strangest part? It no longer feels strange. You walk slowly, as if any sudden movement might break the spell. A few villagers are already up. A woman sweeping her threshold with a bundle of sticks. A boy hauling water in a yoke. A man crouched beside a chicken coop, murmuring softly to his flock. No one greets you outright. Their heads nod. Eyes meet. You're not an outsider now, just another body, another rhythm in the day. You return to the same low table. A bowl is waiting for you. Warm porridge again. Maybe thinner than before, but familiar now. You eat without thinking. Slowly. Steadily. Not out of hunger, but habit. Someone offers a crust of bread. You break it in half and hand it back. The person, an older woman, lines across her face like tree rings, smiles without showing teeth. She says something under her breath. You don't understand the words, but the tone is kind. Later, you help stack logs near the hearth. The wood is rough and splinters your thumb. You rub it against your tunic and move on. No one says thank you. No one needs to. You're not expected to perform, just to be useful. That feels easier here than it ever did back home. You head down a narrow path, outside the village proper. A short walk. You pass a low stone wall, half covered in moss. Beyond it, a field, brown and waiting. The kind of land that says nothing now, but will speak in spring. The sky is overcast. A soft grey dome pressing gently overhead, and yet it doesn't feel heavy. It feels close. In the distance, you hear sheep. A bell tied to one of them chimes as it grazes. You breathe in. The air tastes like clay and water and morning. And your breath fogs a little in front of you. Not from cold, just from being alive. And somehow, This quiet, damp path at the edge of a nowhere village. This is where you feel it most. You're not visiting anymore. You're living. You keep walking. The village disappears behind you, not dramatically, just gently swallowed by the morning haze. There's no fence, no gate, just the land stretching forward. You pass a cluster of bare trees, their branches thin and skeletal against the sky. A crow flaps from one to another, cawing once before falling silent again. Up ahead, you spot a small stone chapel, modest, weathered, half sunk into the slope like it's been trying to return to the earth for years. You approach slowly. Not from reverence exactly, more curiosity. The kind that pulls your feet forward without asking your permission. The door is open. Inside, it's cold and still. The walls are plain, the windows narrow. There are no stained glass saints, no organs, no choirs. Just wood, stone, and silence. A single candle burns near the altar, half melted, its light trembling. You sit on a bench near the back. The wood creaks under your weight, then settles. No one else is here. You don't pray. You don't need to. Just being still feels sacred enough. You listen. To the wind outside. To the breath in your nose. To the quiet ring of nothing pressing in around you. You don't stay long. Eventually you rise, step outside, and blink in the pale light. A low wind runs over the grass. The fields beyond ripple slightly, like the earth is sighing. And for a moment, standing there with frost on your boots and smoke rising faintly from chimneys in the distance, you realize you haven't checked the time. You haven't thought about hours, and you haven't missed them. You follow the path back. The village slowly re-emerges, like a memory or a home. By the time you return, the village is fully awake. But even awake here feels different. There's no rush, no urgency, just motion. Children carry baskets. A man sharpens a scythe on a stone wheel. A woman stoops to sweep ashes out of a hearth, her sleeves rolled up past the elbow, face streaked with soot. You join without being asked. Someone hands you a broom made of bundled twigs. You sweep a stretch of dirt near the well. The dust kicks up gently, hangs in the air, then settles. You do it not because you're told, but because it needs doing. And here, that's enough. After a while, you pause near the well and draw a bucket up. The pulley creaks. Water sloshes. Cold droplets run down your hands as you pour it into a jug nearby. No one comments, but someone nods. A little later, a small boy offers you an apple, wrinkled, dull, skinned, but whole. You take it. Bite into it. It's sour, fibrous, but real. And it fills you more than it should. You watch as the sun creeps higher. Shadows shorten. The air warms slightly. Two men haul a cart of straw past you. One grunts. The other whistles a few notes of a song you don't recognize. You pass a chicken pecking lazily at the road. It barely reacts to your presence. Even the animals here seem less afraid. You walk down the main path again. Not far, just enough to see everything from a new angle. A pig rolls in a shallow patch of mud. A woman laughs behind her door, then stifles it. Smoke drifts from a chimney in a curling line, vanishing into the sky like it was never there. And you realize, this isn't a highlight reel. This isn't a montage. It's just life. Unfiltered, undistilled, unconcerned with impressing anyone. And yet, it's beautiful. In a way most things aren't allowed to be anymore. Not because it's perfect, but because it never pretends to be. The sun begins its slow descent. You wouldn't call it afternoon just yet. But the shadows grow longer. The sound's quieter. Someone calls out, two sharp syllables in a dialect you don't recognize. It's not meant for you, but it's comforting all the same. Voices carry farther in this kind of air. A few villagers are gathered by the communal oven again. The smell is unmistakable this time. Bread, hot and real, its crust just starting to darken. One loaf is removed with a flat wooden paddle. Then another. Someone cracks a joke, and a few people laugh, low and tired, but genuine. You help carry a few finished loaves to a table nearby. They're warm in your hands, denser than supermarket bread, heavier. Like they matter more. Someone hands you a piece, no plate, just crust and steam. You tear it in half, eat slowly. It burns your fingers a little. You don't mind. There's no butter, no jam. But your mouth waters between bites. Nearby, a woman stirs something in a black pot over an open fire. The scent is richer now, earthy, meaty, spiced with something you can't place. A stew is coming. Evening is coming. And it's amazing how natural it feels. This rhythm, this slow slide from labor into stillness. From breathless motion into warmth and dusk. A child tugs on your sleeve, points at the sky. You follow their gaze. Birds, long-necked, black-winged, glide overhead in a slow arc, their calls echoing faintly off the rooftops. They're migrating, maybe, or just circling. But for a few seconds, the entire village pauses to watch. Not dramatically, just of respect. Even the pig stops rooting. Even the chickens go quiet. You don't say anything. No one does. Because here, not everything needs to be explained. Some things just pass over you, like birds, like wind, like time. The evening meal is simpler than you expected. No long table. No ceremony. Just a few bowls passed around near the fire. You sit on a wooden bench beside 3 others. One older man, silent. One girl, maybe 12. One woman whose hands are always moving, tearing bread, stirring broth, folding cloth. No one asks who you are. They don't need to. You've earned your seat just by being here. The stew is ladled into your bowl. Thick, dark, a few beans. A strip of something tough and salty, maybe pork. A root vegetable you can't name. You eat slowly. Sit between bites. The girl continues humming. The man picks at his teeth with a splinter. The woman wipes her hands on her apron and starts knitting with rough, grey yarn. Outside, the sky has shifted again. No longer gold, but copper, then rust. A deepening red that stains the thatched roofs and makes the smoke glow orange. One by one, lamps are lit. Just enough to see, not enough to chase the dark away. The bell rings again. Slower this time. Not as loud. You lose count of the tolls. You don't care. The rhythm matters more than the number. You rise from the bench. Step outside. The air has cooled again. It smells like firewood and wet earth. The kind of smell that sinks into your clothes and follows you home. A few villagers sit near the edge of the road, talking quietly. One is mending a shoe by firelight. Another carves a small figure from wood. You sit nearby, say nothing. No one minds. The girl from before is still humming, now perched on a stool, her chin resting on her knees. The stars begin to show again, faint pinpricks in a sky that's forgotten how to be blue. And the truth returns, as quiet as a breeze. You're not visiting history, you're living in it, and it's letting you stay. You don't remember when the last word was spoken. It must have been minutes ago, maybe more. Now, the only sounds are the wind in the trees, the creak of old wood, and the low crackle of a fire nearing its end. Someone tosses another log on. It pops. Sparks drift upward, then vanish. You tilt your head back and stare at the stars. No constellations you can name. Just space, deep and endless and perfectly still. The others sit near you, quiet, present. Not performing stillness, just living it. And you realize this isn't silence, it's fullness. The kind of quiet that doesn't need to be filled. Eventually, the girl rises, barefoot, and disappears into the dark. The older man follows, then the woman, who places a hand on your shoulder briefly as she passes. It's not a goodbye. Just contact. A reminder that you're here, and so is she. You stay a little longer. The fire lowers itself slowly. The coals pulse. The wind deepens. And then you rise. You walk the same path back to the cottage, though it feels different now. Not unfamiliar, just softer. Like the village is tucking itself in. You push open the door gently. The room is as it was. A blanket waits. A bed of straw. The faintest scent of wood smoke and old wool. You lie down. Exhale. The weight of the day folds around you, not heavy, just whole. And as your eyes close, there's no dramatic ending, no lesson, no twist, just warmth and quiet and sleep. And when you wake, it will be morning, but not yet.